I don't put anything past her, okay? She seems crazy. And she seems to like to dress up too. Like, she's always dressing up in some kind of costume consistently all the time. So, I mean, maybe that's what brought them together. I don't know. Hello. My name is Ashlee, and welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to be talking about Candace Owens again. I said I was going to do a bit of a deeper dive, and something popped up on Twitter, and I wanted to go over it. So, yeah. But before we get into it today, please like and subscribe and turn on post notifications. I also have a membership where I post membership exclusive videos every Tuesday, so check that out. Tons of videos for members. I have tons of them, so go check it out. It looks like Candace is getting a little bit of a taste of her own medicine. Something that's like internally funny when it comes to right-wing pundits is they prime their base to believe in these conspiracy theories. And when something happens, it's like automatically a conspiracy theory. And the last time I talked about Candace, I talked about how Jank was was essentially trying to be like Candace and like Tucker when he had this tweet. Charlie Kirk's mentor died in a pickleball accident. Like, is it weird? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. And that's what right-wing pundits tend to do and have tended to do. And what's so funny is it keeps backfiring on them. Like, it backfired on Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino got called a pedophile protector the other day by a cop. So it wasn't even by like a leftist, it was by a cop. This whole conspiracy theory thing seems to not be working very well for them because they have primed their base so much to believe in conspiracy theories that now whenever they don't agree with that pundit, they turn it right back on them. So that's kind of what's happening to Candace right now. But first, I'm going to show you what she's been saying about Erica and how now that backlash is coming onto her in some videos people found of her. So something that Candace Owens has been saying about Erica Kirk is that she's like a honeypot, or that she specifically seeks out famous or wealthy men as partners. There's also all these rumors that Erica is like a closeted lesbian. I want to talk about it because it's kind of funny to me because they are so like homophobic. Their base is so homophobic that spreading a rumor that she might be gay is like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Like, it's the worst thing in the world. As many of you know, I'm queer, and I realized that later in life. So it's kind of weird for me because if she is, I wouldn't want to like out her, but she is very homophobic. So that's why I think like that's something that Candace Owens has been pushing for a minute, and it's been rumors that have been going around online for a minute, especially on Twitter. And so now there are some old videos of Candace Owens and her friends that I guess someone found and are resurfacing, and everyone's now creating the rumors about her. So let's look at some of the videos that Candace posted about Erica. She has like a whole series. That like Bride of Charlie thing is a whole series. There's like 8 episodes, and the thumbnails are ridiculous. They're so weird and like creepy, and it's very strange. Okay, this is what it says. According to Candace Owens, Erica Kirk's choice in men and who she orbited proves one thing. She wanted to be famous so badly, she didn't care how it happened. I feel like that's kind of obvious. Like, I've been saying that this whole time, and there's all these people in my comments like, oh my god, you don't know what you're talking about, blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, it's one of the more obvious things. I don't think it takes like Sherlock to figure it out that like her whole life she's just kind of wanted to be famous or in the in crowd or in the 1%, and I feel again like that is not very surprising, but you know.
Was it after that's when you started pageants, or when did that come about?
Right. So the pageant world to me is something that it was an interesting season of life. It was nothing that I was ever groomed for. It was nothing that was.
I don't know why she said that. That is kind of weird. The way it was so funny because Candace like moved her head because she was like, and it is kind of weird. I don't know why you would just like say that, like, oh, I wasn't groomed for it. That's kind of weird because now it makes me sound like you were. The weird thing is that I think some of those pageants were actually Trump's pageants. Isn't it weird that like you have these grown men in charge of these companies that have to deal with like children, like specifically like children that dress up in these outfits and put on makeup and have to like parade around, like it's just an interesting occurrence that I've noticed, you know, like that's kind of weird that Trump was in those industries and so was Charlie Kirk's mentor. Just saying
Was ever on my radar. I just, yeah, I wanted to play professional basketball.
Tomboy.
That was my thing. I remember getting something in the mail when I had come home from.
And unfortunately, they've been using that against her for the like lesbian rumors, which is so frustrating. It's such a cliche, and like just because she was a tomboy does not mean that she's queer. It's just homophobia.
From school one summer, and it was like, hey, you should compete at Miss Arizona USA. Someone nominated you. And I was like, I don't know who would nominate me for that, but okay. So the pageant world for me was something that was not a form of narcissism. It was more along the terms of being a steward for my state, especially as it hit our 100th year celebration.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not true. Erica has been involved in pageants from the very beginning. Her mother is definitely the person who pushed that. I actually do believe that Erica loved basketball. There's no question she plays basketball. But this idea that she didn't want it is just not true. It's so objectively not true. Erica, without question, and anybody who's being objective and honest and looking at her history of the people that she dated and the people that she wanted to be in close proximity to, can guarantee to you that this girl wanted to be famous, like very badly wanted to be famous one way or the other.
I personally find pageants kind of, well, especially for children. Like if you're older, you know, I don't know, whatever. If you're older, that's your prerogative. But like for children, I think pageants are strange. And I think they're weird, especially when you see people like Donald Trump who were like in charge of some of these or on the leadership of some of these or created some of these. I mean, he's in the Epstein files. So it is kind of like, it's just creepy. So breaking, mainstream media coverage of Erica Kirk, closeted lesbian, intensifies. So, oh God, this is such a weird. So I guess she had friends that she was close with. These don't look real. This one might be real, but that's just like a cute family picture. This one you can barely see, so I don't think it's real. Basically, these are rumors that are going around, and now this person is showing the article being like, look, it's like kind of proven. So a lot of people think that, and it's just like pictures of Erica and her friends being close. I don't get, like, women can be really close friends, and that doesn't mean that they're gay. Like, and also like gay women and queer women can have really close friends and not be like attracted to them or not want to be with them. It's not it's like a normal, like, it's like, you know, everyone has friendships. Something that I find interesting about a lot of this, because we're going to see it in the Candace Owens ones, is like people, I think right wingers or conservatives or like conservative pundits, or the people who are looking at this and like they look at a picture of two friends being affectionate and they automatically go to, oh my God, they're gay. The thing I've realized, you know, growing up and becoming an adult, is that the most important thing really in life are like my relationships with people. And something I've found very fulfilling is the relationships with my friends. And when I was younger, I did not think that way. I thought like, oh my gosh, I need to be successful. I need to do this and I need to do that. And I can't hang out with friends that much because I got to focus on this. And this was like high school, right? And it's not just a conservative thing. I also think it's living in a capitalistic society thing. To me, it just felt like a waste of time. You know, like I had friends and I had good friends and I had fun. I always thought like I need to be thinking about my future and that's what I need to worry about the most. And I have since totally flipped my priorities, and I have like really good friends in my life now, and I still tend to be a little closed off when it comes to like emotions and stuff like that. But I will say that my two best friends are the ones who have really opened that up for me and have taught me how to be a good friend and to open up and to trust people and to realize that there are people who love you for who you are and will be there for you no matter what. And I've always been very cynical about stuff like that. And so I think all coming back to this, we're going to circle back around. So I think that way when they see people who are just like friends and affectionate, it's like they must be dating. It must be that type of like that's where their mind goes because they can't fathom being that close with someone. So I don't think that Erica is closeted. If she is, then you know what? She should come out. I would support her if she stops being so homophobic and transphobic. I don't think Candace Owens is either. The rumors are just silly, and they're also homophobic because it's essentially being like, oh my God, it's such a catastrophe, or oh my gosh, this would be such a big deal. And it's like, who cares? Who would care? Who cares? The only reason people would care is because she has been so homophobic and so transphobic. Let's move on to Candace Owens. So now, of course, there's a group of people who are trying to come back at Candace Owens for going after Erica Kirk. And so this guy says, if the real Candace Owens ever found a video of Erica Kirk like this, she set the entire platform on fire with her ridiculous analysis and conspiracy nonsense. And it's just pictures of Candace and I'm guessing some friends. Again, these are normal poses. Like, I don't feel like this is super weird.
I'm still perfect and pretty and skinny. And yeah, maybe Candace got a little chubby in quarantine, but at least I'm still cute.
Okay, so I guess they were, first of all, I think they're drunk. Second of all, like, would I do that to a friend? No. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. But I get what they're doing. They're trying to start this rumor because Candace started the rumor about Erica being closeted. So now they have to start the rumor about Candace being closeted. But they are right. If there were videos like this of Erica, Candace would run with it without question. And she has ran with much less. So they are correct about that. I just don't think it's anything weird. And there are people in the replies or whatever that are like, this is just female like friendship affection. Like, this is weird that you're so obsessed with this. It's homophobia. And then I also think it's like the lack of having like deep friendships or deep like connections with people. But you know what, if she is, then more power to her, man. If you stop being so homophobic and transphobic, then yeah, more power to you. Come out, love it. I think, I like the R.M. Brown sound drop, I think everyone's a little gay, but I do. That's just my personal opinion. So I wanted to add a little bit of a segment to this to kind of hammer in on this point that I want this video to have, which is conservative politicians, conservative pundits. They always seem to preach about lives that they don't have, right? Rules for thee, but not for me. And it's like that for most of the politicians. It's like that for most of the pundits. And here you have Candace Owens going after Erica Kirk. I hate them both, just to put it out there. I hate them both. But anyway, here you have Candace Owens going after Erica Kirk for, wanting fame or wanting to be popular, wanting to be a part of the 1%. I mean, I kind of think she's in the same boat, like looking for fame and looking to be a part of the 1%. That's why she became a conservative. But It's always rules for thee and not for me. And especially when it comes to being queer, or when it comes to being trans, or just any part of the LGBTQAI plus community. And this seems to be something that happens on the right a lot, where they preach that being gay or being queer, being trans is a sin and there's something wrong with it, and they want to legislate against those people. They want to oppress that community. 9 times out of 10, they are repressing their own feelings, maybe repressing their own queerness, and instead of embracing it, they have some self-hatred because a lot of the traditional and evangelical propaganda that they either preach or have accepted into their lives. And so now they essentially like have a lot of self-hate that they're projecting onto other people. And so this happens a lot on the right side of the aisle. And it happened recently with Kristi Noem's husband. And so there have been a lot of legislation that's been happening recently that is anti-trans. Like the Supreme Court decided that Trump can block trans people for having their preferred gender on their passport. They're letting him essentially like dead name themselves on their passport and making that the law. The Supreme Court also had a very troubling judgment the other day on conversion therapy. We're going to watch a video about that in a second. I just wanted to talk about this to kind of round out the point that they are going after the queer community, and they're going to keep using them as scapegoats because, you know, they don't have any policies. They just want fascism and control. So they have to blame their problems on everybody else. They have to blame their problems on queer people. They have to blame their problems on trans people. They have to blame their problems on immigrants. And they're just going to keep cracking down as people start to see that cracking down or oppressing or getting rid of those groups of people is not going to make their lives better. And it's not. And our lives aren't getting better. And so they're going to have to keep cracking down on all these groups that they've outcasted because that is the solution that they have preached. That's the propaganda that they have preached. So this is Fox News talking about Kristi Noem's husband. Now, I'm sure that you already know what is happening, what's been going on, but he put balloons in his shirt. Like, he had these big breasts, and they were like, one balloon thing was up here and then the other one was down here. It was very strange. I saw that SNL did a skit about it. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. So anyway, it is kind of funny, but it's also just like, it's frustrating because I feel bad for him because I don't like that people are like laughing at it because I don't think it's that big of a deal. I really don't care. Like, to me, it's like, I don't care, whatever. If that's what you're into, if that's what you like, have at it. But the problem I have is that you are going after everyone else, right? Like, you are with Kristi Noem, who has been transphobic and homophobic and has been just honestly a disgusting human being, right? Has the way she's talked about and treated immigrants, like, she's a disgusting human being. And so he's a part of that, right? And so he's helping push this propaganda that is in turn hurting him and who he really is. I mean, it's funny, but it's also just kind of like, this happens so often. Like, this happens so often that all of these conservatives and all these conservative politicians who constantly just want to oppress people and oppress queer people and look at queer people like they're sinners and all this, they're bad, all this stuff. And yet they're the ones that are out here doing crazy shit. Like, I don't know. It's so frustrating, you know? Like, just go to therapy. Go to therapy. Here's what this is Fox News covering it.
Former Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is asking for privacy and prayers tonight. She's said to be devastated by a report alleging her husband has been what is being called a cross-dressing double life.
First of all, I totally think she knew. Okay, she 1000% knew. There's no way that she didn't know. Like, that's just my personal opinion, because she was having an affair. Everyone knew she was having an affair. She had to have known. Okay, she had to have known. Everyone thinks it's like an agreement that she had with him. It was like a lavender marriage or something. Whatever. I don't care. If they weren't so homophobic, if they weren't so transphobic, if they weren't such horrible people, I would not care. Truthfully, I don't care, right? But because they want to, they want to sit here and try to preach this tradition, purity culture on the rest of us, if you're not living out the purity, traditional politics that you seem to preach, So it just drives me insane. Anyway, she totally knew, and I'm with Sam on this. The majority report was talking about it, and Sam Cedar thinks that she's the one who leaked it. I totally think that she leaked it. 1000%. 1000%.
Senior national correspondent Rich Edson has details tonight. Good evening, Rich.
Good evening, Brett. Well, former Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and now President Trump are responding to a report regarding Noem's husband's alleged online activities. A spokesperson tells the Daily Mail that she's devastated and that, quote, the family was blindsided by this, and they ask for privacy and prayers at the time. President Trump.
Also, her kids are all like grown up. Like, her kids are all like grown up. So I don't know. I just I don't think this is, I don't know, whatever. If they weren't so transphobic, again, if they weren't so transphobic and homophobic, I wouldn't care. But because they want to preach all this bullshit to everybody else, it's like, okay, well, what about preaching it in your own house? I don't know.
Tells the outlet he knew nothing about it, adding, wow, I feel badly for the family. If that's the case, that's too bad. The Daily Mail alleges it obtained hundreds of messages between Brian Noem and 3 women involved in a site where men cross-dress. The Mail posted several of these photos and writes Brian Noem allegedly sent women in the community $25,000 in virtual payments. The publication says Brian Noem did not deny the explicit conversations, but says he never put national security at risk while his wife was secretary, setting up a potential blackmail situation. Quote, yeah, I made no comments like that. That would lead to that. Brian Noem operates a crop insurance agency. He and Kristi Noem married in 1992. They have 3 adult-age children. Earlier this month, President Trump ousted Secretary Noem from her role leading the Homeland Security Department after congressional hearings where she had difficulty answering whether she was having an affair with top aide Corey Lewandowski. You see
what I'm saying? Like, okay, she totally knew. And again, I'm with Sam. Like, I truthfully totally think that, like, this is her trying to, like, get away from her husband and being like, oh, but it's his fault. Because I think she also wasn't in the like Daily Mail exclusive or whatever, they said that the people he was talking to online, the women he was talking to online were like immigrants or something. And I don't know. And I'm like, okay. Christine, I think Kristi Noem linked it because I think she knew, and I think she's gonna get a divorce, and she's gonna be with Corey Lewandowski because she got humiliated. Like, she got humiliated, and I think that she's trying to get that stink off of her, and I guess humiliating her husband, so she's like now the victim.
She also faced questions about more than $200 million in DHS ad campaigns that featured Noem. Democrats are investigating that business.
Which I'm glad they're investigating it. The other thing that Sam Cedar was saying, which I agree with too, is that like all this money, like they just like spent. Like, she's gonna get married to Corey Lewandowski so that way they can't testify against each other. And I'm like, okay, that would be smart. I don't put anything past her, okay? She seems crazy. And she seems to like to dress up too. Like, she's always dressing up in some kind of costume consistently all the time. So, I mean, maybe that's what brought them together. I don't know.
This is that received money on that contract. The president named Noem as special envoy to the Shield of the Americas, Brett.
All kinds of stories today. Rich,
Lots
thank
of
you.
them, yep.
All right.
All kinds of stories today. Okay. Oh, that was funny. Here's some of the pictures. So these are the pictures. Like I said, it's just like lopsided. I'm not sure why he did that. And then this is this one's more even. This one makes more sense. Listen, I don't care. I don't care. I don't listen. Again, if they weren't homophobic, if they weren't transphobic, I wouldn't give a shit. Who cares? I don't care. Like, we're all into different things. She wants to be into dressing up in all these different costumes. Great. He wants to put in fake balloons as boobs. Great. I don't care. Do what you want, all right? But don't sit here and try to preach purity politics to the rest of us, okay? So the last thing that I wanted to watch is a video about what the Supreme Court ruled when it came to conversion therapy. And I wanted to watch this because this is the kind of rhetoric, this is what is coming about, this is the kind of legislation that is happening, this dangerous legislation that is coming about because of people like Kristi Noem, because of Trump, because of Christian nationalists like Pete Hegseth, because of all of these different people who sit here and spew this purity culture that they do not uplift, that spew this homophobia and think being queer or gay or trans is some like sin to humanity or some big deal, some big scandal. And that kind of rhetoric, that kind of attitude, that turns into harmful legislation.
The Supreme Court just ruled against a Colorado law that bans conversion therapy. It was overwhelming, an 8-1 ruling. The justices determined that Colorado's law, which censors certain conversations between clients and counselors based on their viewpoints, violates the free speech clause of the First Amendment. Now, this case was brought by a practicing Christian talk therapist who took on Colorado's law banning conversion therapy. It's a practice favored by many Christian conservatives, encouraging LGBTQ plus kids to either identify as heterosexual or, in the case of trans kids, to identify as the gender assigned to them at birth. Colorado's law banned that practice for licensed therapists.
Honestly, that makes me so mad. It makes me so mad because it's just so disgusting. It's disgusting that a licensed therapist can now recommend conversion therapy, which is essentially torture. Being 8-1 is insane to me. But of course, I knew all of the conservative justices would be like, oh, this Christian therapist, it's her freedom of speech. She can want to traumatize kids and terrorize kids if she wants. Just insane and torture and it's horrific, honestly. And Ketanji Brown Jackson was the only one that was like, we should uphold the conversion therapy ban. What are you saying? And she was the only one, which is just, I mean, she's amazing. I thank her for that, but it's incredible. It's incredible that these other justices who are supposed to be liberal or whatever decided that this was a free speech issue. It's just disgusting, and it's allowing religion to seep into our politics even more. They are allowing Christo-fascism to take over. Like, I feel like that's what they're allowing. That's what they're enabling. That's what I wanted to add to this video. That was the video today. Please tell me what you think below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any suggestions of what you want me to cover next, comment that below. There's so much going on all the time that sometimes it's hard to pick what to talk about. So if there's anything in particular that you want me to talk about, please let me know. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.